I love horror movies, and I love soft liquid center of candy. So this movie
it's a perfect combo.
Yes. Our friends at Gravitas Ventures sent us a trailer to Soft Liquid Center.
They always send us the best stuff.
Yeah. And this is we love sort of movies where maybe a little lower budget, not necessarily big stars, but that's when you find the sort of the diamonds, the ones that you keep talking about, going, oh, this was a really cool movie done on not a big budget. I think that's what we got here.
I love indie horror. It's so good.
Yeah. It's written, and the cinematographer is Joseph Colleen. The writer producer is Steph Holmbo. I think she stars in it, and it's kind of supposed to be kind of a creepy horror house thing. That's all I know about it.
I really like the indie horror films because I think the horror genre is something that you can get away with in the form of indie. I mean, you can't make a really good low budget historical epic. First, I mean, you can't, taking place in the Roman Empire, but you can make a horror film, because a lot of horror films take place inside a real person's home or, realistic locations. And some of the effects are based on the vagueness of fear and all that kind of stuff. It's all about writing. That's what it is with a good low budget horror film. It's all about writing, the effectiveness of the story and the power of the story, the performances, all those things, and the resourcefulness of the production. I love it because you get to see artists at work in a medium where it's not overshadowed by special effects or spectacle or epic,
Right. And horror, as Blumhouse has proven, low budget horror is super profitable because horror fans are very loyal. They come out, they turn out. You don't have to have big stars. You don't have to have big budget. So that has just puts horror movies on the radar in general, just having a company promoting that. Mm-hmm. And before we talk about the trailer and before we talk about the posters, let's talk about our memberships. Let's talk about subscribing, liking, and commenting.
Yes.
There it is. Our YouTube channel has grown. We have over 44,000 subscribers, and that is just fantastic. And thank you for everybody who's done that. And if you haven't, please consider doing it. You get a lot of fun things, as you can see right there. We have 2 membership levels. For $2.99, you get everything in yellow, and for an extra $2, $4.99, you get member request videos, which just basically says, "Hey, would you like to talk about this movie or this TV show?" And that's something that we'll do. And there's the cost. You're a Mondo for $2.99, a Monster for $4.99.
It helps so much.
It does. It kind of, we actually have bills here that we have to pay, so this helps. Yeah. For us, we love getting comments, whether, whatever we talk about. We do a lot of Indian cinema, but we also do a lot of TV shows. We'll do special stuff. We're going to do a year-end review for 2023 coming up soon. So there's all kinds of things that we do. And please, request stuff, and we'll do it.
Request stuff.
The community is the best part. The people that comment and engage with us, it's like, that's so cool. It's like the whole reason we do this. It's because we've got this, it's like a big family.
We're also going to talk about Burk's other podcast YouTube channel, which is about music. Tell us about it, Burk.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I always want to talk about music and movies. I love both of those things. And music is so different from movies, but kind of the same because it's entertainment and it has some of the same properties and all that. But I decided to do a separate one, and it's been kind of fun. It turned out I've got a lot of friends on there. I've made a lot of friends, and it's another one of those community things. I just talk about music and how odd it is and what a weird thing the concept of music in general is and how it affects us emotionally and what's good. And it's called confusing and ambiguous because that's what it is to talk about music. It's like,
but Burk is not. You're not confusing and ambiguous about it. I've watched almost all the videos, and they're super entertaining. Burk really keeps it fresh, and he's really gets in depth about whether it's an album or a group or a type of music, and it can be anything from really obscure stuff to, Burt Bacharach, to a band called Japan, to the Talking Heads, on and on and on. So it's really worth subscribing to, watching the videos, and comment.
Great. great.
It's really worth doing. So let's take a look at this, the trailer to Soft Liquid Center coming out. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but it's coming out soon.
Not sure when.
We'll find out.
Okay, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are we ready?
We know what we're talking about. We swear. Okay.
Yeah.
We do.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Let's do it.
And
Hello?
Hello, 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 hello.
You know when you just, like, the house settles, or you ever been, like, there's lots of wind and, like, a tree branch scratches against your window, and if there's somebody else there, they could be like, that it's a windstorm and that's a tree branch, and you're like, oh, yeah. But when you live alone, you have to tell that to yourself, and I don't know. I don't always feel like the most reliable source.
That was eerie. You know what has a Soft Liquid Center? People.
Well, first of all, let me just say the release date is December 12th. So
Okay.
So I wanted to get that straight, first of all.
Get that straight.
very soon.
And obviously super low budget, quiet, probably just a few actors. Very quiet trailer, which is, something that you don't normally see. Even in low budget movies, there's always there's music, there's actions, whatever. There's something going on. But this is much more toned down, which I thought was actually quite good.
Soft eeriness. Like even the things like, I like that shot of her from the back where she's kind of contorting. Super creepy to me. Like just this beautiful, weird awkwardness. It's really nice.
Yeah. No, you can do so much with good storytelling with a low budget. You don't really need a huge budget to tell a story. And I mean, look at some of the early work from some of our favorite filmmakers that was low budget. Like Mike Flanagan, like Absentia. But the cool thing is where you take a story. If you have a story that happens in a house, everybody has access to a house, almost everybody, and a camera. If you have a camera and a house and a really good script and really good actors, you can make a movie.
Yeah, and if you're there by yourself in your apartment or your house and you see a chair just move a little bit like that, that's going to be scary in real life. Yeah. That's going to be terrifying.
And I like the idea that it kind of centers around that some of the kind of ambiguous things you hear, like she says, you hear like a sound outside, or you hear like see something and you're not sure, like a treatment. I like the idea of like, I'm sure that's all that is. I'm sure that's it. Yeah. Like the idea of we're always kind of brushing away things that kind of make us uneasy. There's something really interesting about that. And I love also that long shot of her, and this is all we're seeing is her face and that red light. And she's just looking really scared, and you're like, what's she seeing? I mean, she did such a great job in that, where you're registering just a little bit of the furrow brow, and her eyes just seem to get more and more panicked looking. But that was a really nice thing. But I like those, like you were saying, like absentia, like these kind of quiet eeriness that's more about like the space in the room and how you're interacting, and just this quiet eeriness. And there might be something in a corner that you're not really noticing. Like it had that vibe to me, that sort of creepy, and like a real people, these like really broad characters. She just seems like person, normal. That you might like your friend or whatever. She's not like a extremely, it's not like an action film where she's a hero jumping off the roof with a rappelling rope or something. A woman she's being just scared, living in a life like the rest of us do. And I like where the woman said where she was alone. Sorry, Mike, where she's alone. She goes, I tell myself that, but I'm not the most reliable source.
Right.
Women are always, they're in a way kind of conditioned to do that because everybody's like, oh, you're overreacting. Oh, don't, I'm sure it's fine. Like, and so you're always telling yourself that. And so I think even more so like with women, because we have to be a little more afraid because, half the world wants to kill us, but it's like, you have to hear the scene, hear and analyze the sound or whatever vibe you're getting, and then kind of assess it inside your brain. Am I overreacting? What am I doing? I don't know. And there's that little level. I like that self-doubt she threw in there because I can't count the times I've heard friends say that.
Steph Holmbo, she's the actress. She also wrote the script.
Oh, okay.
So
that explains that.
Yeah, exactly. So it just, I think it captured probably this sense of that, what that movie is like, quiet. Yeah. She's mostly by herself, weird noises, things like that get inside her head. So I want to see it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And just the classic genre of haunted house films, it's almost like isolation horror. I don't know what the setup is for this, but a lot of times there's a reason why they can't contact the outside world, or they can't go out of the house. Maybe it's out in the wilderness, or there's some reason why she can't just go out the door and, go to the police or something. But there's a lot of anxiety about being alone in a strange house. Like when somebody goes, like she's moving in, looks like she's moving in, bringing in her couch and like being in a new place, there's always a weird anxiety, feeling like you're in someone else's house when you first move into a new place, and all those feelings of like not being familiar yet with how the floor creaks and what the sounds that the house makes and all that.
Yeah. Well, this is also like she's just leaving a relationship with a toxic ex,
right?
So she's leaving someone who has totally messed her up,
right?
And physically, probably. So she's moved into a new place, but she has not only that fear of like, he's still out there, he could be messing with me. She has that amplified element of fear in this new place where things sound like they're really happening. But she, probably assess in her amplified, terrified state, like, am I, that same thing I was talking about, the overreaction, or is it real, or what's happening? Like, is it even real? Am I just going crazy? Because, probably the manipulation from the ex is probably making her not trust her own judgment anymore.
She's still in that. She's still in that space with the relationship, but she's in a new space. And we all know when you go to your new house or your new apartment, the first night or first couple of nights, it's just like, where am I? Should I be here? It's a very weird feeling,
especially if you're alone.
Oh yeah,
right,
totally. Yeah, and you've been gaslit for years and threatened by someone. Then you're all like, can I do this? So looks like it's going to be pretty heavy duty, and I like the female perspective of it, and it's kind of unique in horror. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yeah,
Soft Liquid Center coming out December 12th. On
we have a poster.
Perry Home Video. Let's check it out.
We'll check it out. Here's a little very artful little movie poster. I love it. It's not your usual scary movie, but I like how it plays with the red light that's actually in the movie.
The red,
and how her face is sort of off center and quirky, and I like the type. Yeah, so that's their kind of artsy art house horror poster. Very nice design. That's kind of stuff you always want to do that never gets picked.
Right.
But in this case,
that's the great thing about indie cinema. You do what you want as an artist, and then hopefully it gets distributed. Hopefully people get to see it, and then it goes from there. So
when Mark wanted me to do the poster for his indie film, I got to do whatever I want.
You did,
and he liked everything.
They were awesome. No, they were great, first class all the way.
And that movie's called Breathe. If you ever
Breathe, So maybe more to come. So anyway, Soft Liquid Center. I'm looking forward to it. Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, everybody. See ya.
Bye.